And welcome back to another one of our virtual backyard field trips. I am joined by a very special guest, Kelly Ussia. Kelly, can you tell us where you're from?
Hi guys, I work here for our St. Johns County Parks and Recreation Department, and the Alligator Farm is a great partner for us. We do a lot of education programs throughout the year together, and normally they're in person, but it's nice to be able to bring them to you through computers and technology.
So welcome back again. We have a whole slew of things planned for this virtual backyard field trip. So we'll get started on that here shortly, but we are outside of our Hoffman's two-toed sloth enclosure just to make sure that we're not spreading any diseases or pathogens to our animals. We're going to keep a nice, safe social distance from them, but we will grab some sloth footage here for you here shortly. But I just want to remind everyone, or thank everyone as well for contributing to our GoFundMe, our animal adoptions, and signing up for our zoo camp. All these things help contribute to keeping the alligator farm running. We have a very hefty expense load when it comes to caring for our animals. We want to make sure that they all receive their proper diets, receive the enrichment that they need, or any medical supplies. So I want to thank you all for truly helping us out. It really does mean a lot. If you haven't already, you can definitely go check our webpage, alligatorfarm.com, to learn how you can definitely contribute there. Or again, browse our social media pages as well. But we'll go ahead and get started here.
Yeah, thanks.
And welcome back to our outdoor classroom. This is where we were last time with Frank Robb, but of course we have our friend Kelly Ussia here with us today. If you are still interested in signing up for zoo camp, this is actually where we host all of our zoo camp programming. You can find all that information on our website, as we will be starting on June 1st.
And if your kid hasn't done zoo camp before, if you've never been to the Alligator Farm, this place is so cool, guys. You got to check it out. Just this wall here is filled with things all around us that are from Florida, and it's really neat, just this one area of the farm. So check out that zoo camp they've got going on.
So we're going to talk all about mammals today, some native or local to us here in Florida, some exotic or found throughout the different parts of the world, and really when they are active. Kelly, what's your favorite mammal?
Ooh, my favorite animal is a teeny tiny little Anastasia beach mouse. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
So can you maybe tell me we have a vocabulary word we'll all hear today, so we'll be putting up some vocab words so you guys can keep along with us. Can you maybe tell us what it means to be native or local to us here in Florida?
Yeah, so native means you're from here. It was born here, their parents were born here, the whole family is from here. That's native. Invasive means it's from somewhere else. So in a lot of cases, it means it's from an entirely different continent. It could be from Africa or Australia or Asia, and they've made their way to Florida, and usually they're not supposed to be here. But those are what we call invasives, when they're not supposed to be here and they're doing bad things. So we have native animals that are once again from here. Let's see. And then we have invasive animals. These ones are from somewhere else that could be doing bad things to our Florida environments. Think the Burmese python down in South Florida. That's an invasive species. So then we also have animals that are native, but that are only found in certain locations, and that's endemic. Endemic is a cool word meaning they're only found in one or a few locations. Just like my favorite animal, the Anastasia beach mouse, that's only found on Anastasia Island here in St. Johns County. How cool is that?
That was pretty awesome. So I have a question for you, Kelly.
Yes.
When I go to the beach, why don't I see these beach mice then?
Ooh, that's a good question, because usually we're at the beach during the day, right? That's when the sun is shining, the surf is good, but these animals are what we call nocturnal.
I think we have a word for that. Yeah. So animals that are nocturnal are only active at
nighttime.
nighttime. Awesome. All right, so we have our nocturnal animals. We also have animals that are active during different parts of the day, like diurnal animals. So if you are diurnal, that means you're active during the daytime. Us human beings, we are diurnal. Some of us like to pretend like we're nocturnal, but for the most part, we are going to be active just during the daytime. Now, if you are a species or an animal that is maybe active during the morning or evening hours, where it's usually a little bit cooler and prey is a little bit more abundant, you're going to be this word. It's called crepuscular. All right? So our animals that are crepuscular are some of our species of owls, sometimes some of our species of terrapins. You guys have met some of our terrapins previously. And then also some species of snakes and cetaceans as well. Now, over here we have our amazing mural of what an Anastasia Island beach would look like. Kelly, can you maybe point out where the beach mice are?
Yeah,
on this
so
mural?
right here are our teeny tiny little itty bitty beach mice. They're hanging out here on our dune system. That's where we would find them at the beach. They like to be in the sandy soil. I actually have a really cute close-up picture of one if you guys want to see. Look how cute that teeny tiny mouse is.
So what makes beach mice different from, say, mice we'd find anywhere else?
Yeah, so they're still a mouse, right? So they still have mouse-like characteristics. They still look like a mouse. But the cool thing is that these guys live in our dunes, and they actually dig burrows, and they're great for helping seed dispersal in our dune systems. So if you've ever watched Cinderella and you know Gus Gus, and he fills up his whole arms with all of those little corn kernels, and he tries to bring them all back, and then they all kind of go everywhere, that's basically what the beach mouse does. He just tries to pick up all of the seeds, and he tries to carry them back, but he drops a bunch along the way, and so he helps to disperse those seeds throughout our dunes and make them a lot healthier.
Very cool. So we're talking about mammals today, and beach mice are obviously mammals. Can you maybe help me walk through what makes them a mammal?
Yeah, great questions. There are 5 things that make a mammal a mammal. Most notably, hair.
Or fur.
Or fur, yeah.
Some's a little furrier than others.
Yeah, so 1 is hair. 2 is that they give live birth. 3 is that they have milk that they feed their young with.
So these animals do take care of their young?
Yes, yep. They all take care of their young for varying lengths of time depending on what kind of animal it is, right? Like us humans, we take care of our young for a long time. Usually, you know, 18 and then sometimes after that. But yes, there is parental care. And then they have lungs. They breathe air.
Like
Very
us.
important.
All right.
Fresh air, love it. And the last thing is that they're warm-blooded. So when we eat breakfast and lunch and dinner, sometimes desserts, or throw in a few snacks there, it's all in the name of maintaining our internal body temperature.
Awesome. And so for all of you that tuned in last week with Frank Robb, you probably heard us talk about animals that are cold-blooded. Those are the animals that have to use the sun's rays basically to help them thermoregulate or keep them nice and warm. For mammals, they have fur. Like Kelly was saying, they eat a lot of things to keep their body temperature nice and regulated.
All right, I have a question for you though.
All right.
In our seascape behind us here, I see some dolphins.
Yes.
They are mammals.
I thought they were fish.
No, they're definitely mammals. But
Okay.
where's their hair or fur?
Isn't it all over their body?
No.
Where is it?
Gotcha. They actually only have hair when they're first born. They have teeny tiny little whiskers in their rostrum that fall out after a couple of days, and then they never have hair again.
Very cool. But they still nurse their young.
Yep.
They're still warm-blooded.
Yep.
They breathe air.
Yep,
I
sure
guess that's
do.
why they have to come up to the surface.
You
awesome.
got it.
Very, very cool. Now, not just Anastasia beach mice, but there's a ton of mammals that we have here in Florida.
A ton.
Yeah, let's go see if
All
we
right,
can
let's
check some
check
more
those
out.
out.
Now, for our mammals, you can find them, of course, on our beaches and obviously in our oceans with our dolphins, but we can also find them maybe in our trees. So these are some mammals that you probably will see quite regularly, like opossums or raccoons in your own backyard. So a part of our backyard count, all right, just like we counted birds or some of the reptiles, I want you guys to see if you can count any signs of mammals. Now, you might not see these mammals because, as we were talking earlier, they might be crepuscular or they might be nocturnal, which means you won't necessarily see them when we're awake. But you can look for signs of them. You can look for animal tracks, just like your dog or cat leaves behind tracks. So do our raccoons and opossums. You can also look for something called scat.
Poop.
There it is. So you can look for their scat or their poop maybe in your backyard that shows signs of those animals.
Just don't touch it.
Now, I think one of the most charismatic mammals, or one of the coolest mammals we have here in Florida, are the manatees.
Yes, they're so cute. They're like little swimming cows.
So where do you typically find manatees?
So manatees are going to be in all of our bodies of water when it's warmer out. So we're coming into the time of year where they're kind of expanding, and you can find them in almost any saltwater, brackish water in Florida. But when it gets really cold in the wintertime, those manatees, even though they look really big, they actually don't have that much body fat. So they go into our springs, because our springs stay at a nice 72 degrees all year long. So they're just emerging from our springs, our water is just starting to warm up. But in the wintertime, if you want to check out manatees, go to the springs. They'll be hiding there to stay warm.
Now, what are they typically eating in the springs? And this is actually a manatee skull. Now, this is an artificial manatee skull, so it's a replicate, right?
Yeah.
What do you think they eat with these teeth?
I don't know. Those look like teeth that would be used to eat plant material.
Yeah, so do you know what their nickname is?
What is their nickname?
The sea cow.
Ah.
Yeah, so manatees, and this actually looks very much like either a horse or a cow skull. Manatees have a nickname called the sea cow, and they use these molars to grind up a lot of the sea grasses or vegetation at the bottom of those lake springs, or maybe in our coastal waterways.
That's cool. You can usually tell if a manatee has been around, especially if you're in a kayak in our intercoastal areas. If there's a bunch of grass floating around and it looks green still, it means the manatees ate the bottom of it and the rest of it's still floating around.
Awesome. So, are you ready to go out and check out the park?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Lemurs are a type of animal that's called a primate. Here in North America, or in Florida more specifically, we actually do not have any primates.
What about the skunk ape, Trevor?
You know what? You actually mentioned that, and that's the first time I've ever heard of the skunk ape.
Come on, the skunk ape lives in the swamps. He's a big old ape, like Bigfoot.
So it's Florida's version of Bigfoot.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, great. So our lemurs, of course, are not skunk apes. But if you ever do see any primates in Florida, there are some species of monkey that you can find in different parts of the state. They're actually what we call non-native or invasive species. They don't belong here. They have been brought here by someone who, for one reason or another, maybe had them a part of a collection and then released them. I know over in the
the Silver Springs.
Silver Springs, there are some primates over in that area.
Whole colony over
Yeah.
there. These guys are so cool, Trevor. So what are these kinds right in front of us? You talked about the ringtail, but what are these guys?
So the ringtail are the ones, of course, with the bands around their tail. And the ones that you see are nice red big floofballs. Those are called red ruff lemurs. And they're one of the larger species of lemur that we have here at our facility.
That's so cool.
And as you can see, our little ring-tailed lemur over there, Mika, is really enjoying our keeper.
They seem very curious.
They are very curious. All right, are you guys ready to get moving on to the next part of our facility? So you guys just got to check out our lemurs and see them get some of their enrichment for the day. Enrichment's actually a really key point or key aspect of their daily life. It makes sure that these animals are staying active and healthy within their habitats. It is our job as keepers of these animals to make sure that they're not only physically healthy but also mentally healthy. So these animals will get different types of this enrichment to help stimulate basically their daily lives here at our park. Now that enrichment can really vary from just branches and leaves that you saw our keeper just give them. It can also vary to some different toys that we might give them throughout the day, or different types of fruit or vegetables we will give them. We can even combine those different types of enrichment for big surprises. So if you're here during maybe the 4th of July or Thanksgiving or Christmas or even Easter, you probably saw that these animals get like different types of presents, which really helps basically their mental capacity while here at our park. Now, our troop of lemurs are all males, and that's specifically because our male troop of lemurs are fairly young. We want to make sure that this male troop of lemurs has the capability of potentially going out to other zoos and aquariums as a part of something called the Species Survival Plan. The Species Survival Plan ensures that this endemic species to Madagascar never goes extinct, which is basically part of our core mission here at the alligator farm, is the conservation of these animals both locally and worldwide. Again, if you want to find out more about how you can help lemurs or learn more information on our lemurs, you can go to our website, alligatorfarm.com, to figure that out. Now we are going to continue our tour with Kelly and go check out another one of our species we have here. And welcome back. So behind us here are Prevost squirrels. This is a type of species or a type of squirrel, mammal, that is found actually in Southeast Asia, Indonesia. So you can really find squirrels all across the United States.
Yeah, check them out in your backyard. The ones that they have in your backyard are going to be gray and not as cool looking as these Prevost squirrels, but as you're looking for mammals, there are definitely squirrels out there. If you have a bird feeder, you know for sure there are squirrels out there because they're always trying to get into your bird feeder and eat your bird feed.
They definitely are. Now, our Prevost squirrels, like our lemurs, are part of that species survival program. So if you want to learn more about this species and those other species, definitely check out our website, alligatorfarm.com, and under our conservation tab, it will tell you everything you need to know about Prevost squirrels, lemurs, and the work that we're doing to conserve this species and others here at our park. I want to thank you guys for joining us again, and thank you, Kelly, for coming by. Me. Yeah, we really enjoyed having you with us. Next week, we'll be talking all about our native bugs and insects. So again, please tune in next Friday. We'll have another special guest with us, in which we'll learn all about these creepy crawlies.
Yeah, I won't be here for that.
Now, again, if you haven't had the chance, please go check out our Facebook page or our other pages to learn more about our virtual field trip, some of the animals that we'll be talking about. And also check out our website for our zoo camp information, our Adopt the Animal pages, and our GoFundMe as well. Thank you guys for tuning in again for another week of our virtual backyard field trip, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.